All right. Just another way that our guys continue to find ways to win games. I hate to sound like a broken record, but the versatility of this team, the heart and resiliency that this team shows, the ability to make plays at critical moments when we needed them the most, showed up. You know, tonight the offense had to possess the ball at the end of the game, and we were able to do that. Heck of a play by AD and Quinn. A week ago, the defense had to get the stop. So the idea that we can win either way, I thought was impressive. I thought for 3 quarters we played really good football. What a great play by Jordan Whittington to strip the ball after the interception. I thought that was a critical play in the ball game. I thought having Quinn back was really effective for us. It was unfortunate that throw got away from him on that one, but he made some really nice plays for us throwing the ball. But in the fourth quarter, it was unfortunate we couldn't convert a third down, and then they were scoring quick. And we didn't tackle very good late in the game in the fourth quarter, and they were scoring quick, and then we couldn't stay on the field because we were having a hard time converting 3rd and 3s and 2s and whatnot. So as always, there's things to work on, but it sure feels good to be 9-1. And it's great to get a conference victory on the road against a good football team. Their record is not indicative of how good they are. I know they've lost a lot of one-score games. I've been there before. That's tough. But Sonny's got a good team, and they continue to fight tonight, and they took us all the way to the end. And so, like I said, I think that's what championship teams do. They find a way to win, and I'm very proud of our team. And got to get healthy, and we got to get ready to go again next week.
Danny, start us off.
Is this like this the whole time with like a freaking construction site?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve, can you touch a little bit more on the intangibles that Jordan brings, especially on a play like that?
Well, I just think that's what exactly he provides. There's so much that he does that a lot of times doesn't show on the stat sheet. What he does for us blocking, how smart he is in getting people lined up and recognition of what people are doing, the information he provides us. We throw an interception, and for him to have the awareness to go strip the ball coming from behind like a defensive player, and Jordan hasn't been 100%. He's going through something. That's why we haven't seen him as much on special teams, but he's an invaluable piece to what we do. And so, again, I'm grateful that he was able to make that play because that was a critical play at that juncture.
Eric, go ahead. Steve, you talked about consistently about versatility and versatility. Steve finds ways to win games. Just wondering, how do you juxtapose that message of finding ways to win games, players that won games in the past, with the second half of the season?
Yeah. Well, we just talked about that actually briefly. We have got to, first of all, I'd say good teams continue to improve as the season goes on. You never hit this point where we can't improve. So I get it, we're in November, but we can improve still. And there's a lot of football left to be played, and we can improve. And where we can improve is that killer instinct, that mental intensity, that focus, that tenacity that we played, the first 2 quarters with to come out in the third quarter and to go finish the team off. It was a tremendous goal line stand there in the third quarter. And we start on our own 1 or 2 yard line, and we move the ball out to about the 38. And we had an opportunity there to really continue to go. And what that drive could have meant to that whole game at that point would have totally changed the complexion of the game. We don't convert. We end up punting the ball, and then they turn around and get their momentum back. And so there's an idea of this whole complementary football thing that we had some really cool complementary football tonight, but that was a moment when I thought we could have really seized it, and we didn't. And so that's where we have to improve. I'm sure other teams have other areas where they need to improve, but that's where we have to improve. We got to have that killer instinct to put people away when we have a chance to. Very similar to last week. We had an opportunity last week and we weren't able to do it as well for different reasons. When you start turning the ball over in your own end, you let them back into the game. So it all adds up to we have opportunities to put people away. We've got to hone in, have the right mental intensity to go do that.
Do you have an update on Jonathan Brooks and just how valuable he is to your offense?
Yeah, Jonathan. Jonathan, he does it again, with the big screen pass down to the one, couple touchdowns, goes over 100 yards again. Obviously we're going to have to check him out more in the morning when we can get him back to Austin. I'll probably have a better update for you guys on Monday.
Middle armor. Coach, the throw by Quinn on 3rd and 12. Just talk about the play call and how much that throw was.
Yeah, we just felt like we were going to get man coverage, and we felt like coming into the game and all night that was an advantage for us on the perimeter with AD and with Xavier. Obviously, Xavier had a heck of a game. Again, our offense kind of goes in cycles, and I got asked this week, why hasn't Xavier had any big games recently? Well, he caught 10 balls for 137 yards, so it was his turn tonight. But in the end, when we got the isolation one-on-one, similar to the fade on the touchdown we threw to AD, if we got that one-on-one, we were going to take that shot. We just felt like that was a matchup that was favorable to us, and Quinn gave AD the shot to go make the play.
On your right,
One big great Quinn's performance all night long, and would you applaud that same play with the Lincoln quarterback, or was it Quinn?
I don't answer hypotheticals, okay? But I will say Quinn, coming off of an injury, I don't know if I could have asked for much more, right? I mean, I thought he stood in the pocket. I thought he made some throws at some critical moments. I'm sure we're going to look at the tape and see plays that maybe he could have executed a little bit better, and that's like any game. That's me as a coach, the players as players. But for coming off of that injury and going out there and making those plays and having the performance he had, I think if you would have told me he'd have been 22 of 33 for 317 yards coming out of this game, I'd have taken it every day of the week. So I'm happy that he was able to play the way that he did.
You guys are winning. You're 9-1. Do you think if you win 2 more games like this in the Big 12, will it be enough to get you where you want to be?
That's not my choice. It's not my decision. All I care about is, like I said, going into the season, we had a goal and a mission to be champions this season. And to do that, we had to make it to Arlington December 2nd. And we've got 2 more games that are going to be really tough games to try to achieve that. And then if we can get there, then we got to go win 1 more game. Anything beyond that, that's out of our control. But we can control that. And so we try to keep our focus on what we can control and what's the task at hand. And the task at hand is going to Ames next Saturday night and playing an Iowa State team that's going to be it's going to be a great challenge for us.
You talked earlier on about having the resiliency to win multiple ways and just having a team that's found a way to win. This team has overcome some potholes in the past that might have stumped Kansas State last week. This has been a tough matchup in years past. What do you think is different about this team, and why do you think that you guys have been able to find a way to win even if the games are looking?
Well, I think that I think it stems from our culture. It stems from these guys believe, and they believe in one another, and they believe in themselves. I would say in previous years, our first year, I don't know if we believed. Last year, I think we thought there was moments, can we? Yeah, okay, we can. This year, I don't think they have any doubt. Like, we're going to win the game. It's just a matter of how. And when your number's called, I don't think that the guys blink when their number's called. And I don't think if another guy's number's called or the other side of the balls, they believe we're going to make the play that needs to be made. But I think all that stems back to our culture, that these guys believe in one another. They do everything out of love for one another. And that's taken a lot of work to get us to this point. And, hopefully we can continue to build on the culture as we're building and improving as a football team.
Stay here on the right, Liam.
Coach, your secondary gave up 400 yards passing today. I mean, at what point do you decide this is a concern for this team and what needs to change?
I just didn't think we tackled great today. Early in the game, I thought our coverage was really good. In the first half, we covered really well. We played the deep ball well. We broke up some plays. When they completed it, we were tackling really well. But as the game went on, we just didn't tackle very well. They threw a curl route, and we don't tackle the guy, and he splits us and goes down the middle. And, jumps over a guy, made the guy look like Superman, where it should have been a gain of 10 yards. And so those are things for us where we need to improve. Again, if we do it right and we stop the run well and we get the lead and play well offensively, people are going to have to start to throw the ball. All right, well, now they're going to complete some of those throws. That's okay too, but you got to get them on the ground. And I just didn't think we tackled very good there, especially in the fourth quarter. It was not good enough.
3 last ones, Thomas.
Coach, you talked about the completion rate with Xavier. What is it about that efficiency between those two?
Well, I think they got good rapport. Those guys have put in a lot of work, and a lot of work kind of behind the scenes, where a lot of times – it's not even when we're there. They're throwing on their own. I think Xavier has put in a lot of extra work on the jugs and working on his hands and being a steady catcher. And, so much was made a year ago about the drops that he had. And then we find out he had a broken hand. And just the efficiency that he's playing the game with right now, I'm really proud of him, and he's playing with an extreme amount of toughness. He's playing physical. He's winning one-on-one matchups, and Quinn trusts him. And that comes from rapport and banked reps that they've gotten over the last 2 years.
In the back, Corey.
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win first off.
Thank you.
But then also, coming into this environment, you talked about embracing the game earlier. That's the motto. And it seems like the team really embraced it tonight. What is it about these road games that you like about your team, knowing that they can come into these hostile environments and then play up towards it?
Well, for me personally, I love playing at DKR, and there's nothing better than 105,000, the sea of burnt orange and all that. But I also enjoy going on the road, and we only get to bring 70 guys. We have 120 on the team, so 50 players didn't get to come tonight. There's only 70 of us. I think that creates an environment of, man, we got to be tight, we got to lock arms, and we got to go into this battle together. I think that's taken us some time to really understand what that feels like, what that looks like, and offense has got to pull for the defense has got to pull for the offense. Everybody's got to play a role on special teams, and that's where you form those bonds as a team, is when you come on the road and you find a way to win these games and you get to be in that locker room afterwards knowing, hey, some guys got nicked up. Jade Barron had a hard time finishing the game. Jonathan Brooks didn't finish a game. Cedric Baxter had to step up. Jalen Gilbo's back in there. Everybody had to step up. Everybody has a role. If you're one of these 70 guys on the road, you have a role in helping us win tonight. And so there is something special about that. But you have to embrace it. You can't go in thinking, oh, it's going to be loud. Just expect it. All right, it's going to be loud. Now what are we going to do? What kind of poise and composure are we going to have in this game? And so it's always special going on the road, winning, especially a conference game in November. That's really hard to do, and for us to do that tonight, I'm very pleased with that.
Last one, Caleb.
Coach, at the beginning of the season, y'all were more of like a slow start and then finish them in the second half. Now you're kind of like quick start, early lead, and then the second half is letting in. What is it about like the first half season? Is there anything like there that you think you can pick up and like bring to now?
I'm gonna go back to the lab and try to figure that out. Quite frankly, nobody wants us to play a complete 4-quarter game and then nobody wants it more than I do and than our players do. And so, as always, we got to try to find the right buttons to push in our preparation. We got to find the right buttons to push in the first half to make sure that we're playing the type of football we can play in the first half of the game. We got to find the right buttons to push at halftime, and we need to find the right buttons to push at the end of the third quarter to go finish these games and play the way we're capable of playing with the right, like I said, right mental intensity, the right focus, the right physicality that we're capable of playing with. And so, that's my job, to try to figure that out so that we can go play a complete game of 4 quarters. And, that's the beauty of it to me, in that, man, our best is still out there. What's it going to look like when we do play a complete 4-quarter game? And there's going to be a game, and we're going to need it. And so hopefully we can put it all together next week.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.